Yeah, as I said, I was on the procurement cohort, and it was difficult. I understand why people dropped out along the way. People are busy. There's a lot of things going on. But again, one of the biggest things that came up for us was agendas. My presentation should come up at some point. It does say on there decarbonisation and foundation economy. It's just a heading for the moment for this. What our cohort talked about and what we found was that we were given agendas by Welsh Government all the time, and they were thrown at us and what we were doing. We thought we were going to set the world on fire. We were talking about decarbonisation, foundational economy, all the different things were coming out, and how we could personally make those massive and improve in the NHS, like I said. But what we realised is, as we were going through and we were talking about foundational economy and decarbonisation, was what did we understand about it ourselves and how could we make a difference? And then what we further went into then is, how do we expect our teams and our staff to make a difference as well? And we realised, as John said in OVO, it's all down to knowledge and understanding, and how we need to actually take everything back, strip it back, and go back down to the basics and actually train our staff in what foundational economy, decarbonisation, circular economy means to everyone, and how we can make a difference, and almost put it back onto your staff and make it relatable to them, because we can't make a difference at the top level without the bottom level knowing what they're doing. So that's what we came up with as our challenge. And it's almost a training program essentially, but we put these headings in because at the moment these are high on the agenda with Welsh Government, with everyone. So this is just a prototype. It's not gone out, and our team is developing slowly in the NHS. We've had Alid join us, Amy join us. So we're developing our training as we go. But what we wanted to do and what our main aim was to really strip it back and make it like relatable, essentially, for our staff and for them to be able to know what they were doing and how they could move forward with this agenda for us to be able to be successful. So again, we started off with the basics, and we wanted it to be kind of interactive for staff as well. At the moment it's difficult because we've had COVID and everything like that, but we wanted people to know, how does my role contribute to the foundational economy, decarbonisation, and another one, the Wellbeing and Future Generations Act. So what we were asking our staff to do, or what we would like them to do, is be part of this and just put this on the screen, and then to throw out ideas at us, what they thought it was, how they would look at it, and how they would move forward with these agendas to be able to help the NHS, public sectors, and everyone else. Again, the definition of foundational economy, it's all of our goods and services that we need. Some people may not have even known this or think it or even wonder about it. So again, back to basics, giving them definitions of how and what they can do, and what goods and services we use and we use in the NHS to be able to move forward. Okay, again, making sure that our staff are aware of where our tenders and our documents can be. Again, this relates specifically to procurement, but again, it can be developed for anyone. Again, making sure that we tell them where we need to ensure what we're doing, mandate, and link in with. And at the bottom here, we talk about linking in with SMEs, third sector bodies, and things like that. Again, I'll go further on to this and that'll come into training, but we need to make sure our staff know what they're talking about to be able to enable them to let suppliers know what they need to do and how they move forward. Okay, just the decarb strategy. I know the data's changed recently, but I think we can leave the data on there for now, because it's important that we work towards it urgently and not just keep putting it off as we go along. So again, it's the NHS committed to supporting Welsh Government and achieving net zero public sector. But again, it's getting our staff to realise what that means to them and how they can make a difference by their purchasing, the suppliers that they use, and the details that we give. Because just by throwing at them the decarbonisation strategy, it's a minefield. They're going to get lost. So again, our cohort was about training, learning, and developing, and trying to get them to realise what the strategy was and look into it a bit further. And how we can help work towards this ourselves. You know, are our suppliers committed? We get our staff to ask these questions, try and look further and delve into it. Like I said, this is a prototype. It's not out there. There's a lot more can be done. Talk about the Wellbeing and Future Generations Act. Again, I'm not sure all staff realise that we have to work towards it. It's an act and it's law, and we have to work all 7. Again, what we're saying is we need to enable our staff to have these details and this information, because when it comes to suppliers, how are they going to know if we don't know? So these are the main headers we're looking at with the agendas again. Just things to familiarize themselves with. Like I said, this isn't for you guys, it's just the program we set up. And as procurement, we're asking these questions. So again, I go back to the very start. We in the NHS have asked our staff to put these questions into our tenders, but how do they know how to evaluate them? How do they know how to look at them? It's a general question. We're now looking as a team into how we can further improve these questions and make them more accurate to the tenders that are going out and more like relatable again. But what we're saying here is we've given this to staff. This came out before our team even started, the transformational team, and with the kind of relatability to them, how do they know what they're doing? So that's the development of it. But what I wanted to say is the main part of our challenge was it isn't essentially about this. It's about taking it back and looking at training and what we're asking our staff to do without providing the tools. That was our challenge.